All right, thank you very much for joining us. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV, and some of you have not even resumed to work, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'll just be doing this and making it as brief as possible, as I would always do. Pick on serious matters and hear my opinions, speak for the minds of those or of us who handle serious matters. And on the interview that the president had yesterday. Um, I'd like to say that first of all, I will commend that boldness to come before Nigerians and speak. As we have been cumbered with lots of recordings and all of that, even anniversaries, we have the presidents, addressing the nation, you know, um, the address being recorded and so. But then yesterday we had a live interview with the president. I think that we should commend that. We should appreciate and thank God that quite a number of wrong insinuations that a number of us have been having, will be off the way. And one of such insinuations is Buhari is dead. And at least the one that we saw yesterday, it wasn't a robot talking, it was human. And I think even if we don't believe from this end, I don't think Sean Kimbaloye and his colleague will, be deceiving themselves or deceiving us, from that end. So talking to, somebody who some people say, oh, he's not one, he's not the president, he's not alive, he's been dead, all those ones. Let's put that one aside. And interestingly, the president answered so many questions yesterday, and it changed some of my views about this man. I've never met him before. Hope that I'll get to meet him before he leaves office or maybe after, but then let's still put that aside. Anyways, it changed some of my views. And one of the things I saw was the smartness, the attitude, the instant attitude with which he answered questions. And some questions like, what do you think about when you hear PDP? He didn't think about it. He just said, failure comes to mind. Failure, just one word, failure. But the part that I want us to focus more on is the issue of Nigerian youths. When Sheon asked him, was it Sheon or the lady, asked him about the Nigerian youths and what comes to mind. And he said that, may I paraphrase him, said that he believes that the youths will wake up and they will come to this realization that they do not just get educated to get out and just get jobs being provided by the federal government, which is not readily available. And we cracked some jokes, while we were listening to him yesterday. Sincerely speaking, have we ever thought about it that even those who are in the service have not left, their tenures have not expired, and so graduates are being rolled out every year. Graduates are being rolled out every year. The camps are loaded. The NYC camp loaded, and graduates every year. And what we are saying, or what we're asking for when we say federal government is not producing jobs, is that we are saying that the people that were there last year should be pulled out by the time you graduate this year. And that's why we have, the labor market huge. And, the first time I heard the president say Nigerian youths are lazy, I heard that when he said Nigerian youths are lazy. Yesterday's statement, with the way he now, he analyzed it a little further yesterday, when he answered that question. And that drove me back to, to analyze what he meant when he said Nigerian youths are lazy. And one of the things that came to mind was the fact that he was trying to say that we are not being creative enough. One, you and I know that the federal government cannot produce all the jobs that everybody that is being released or being graduated from the school are going to work in. they are not going to produce, they can't produce all. They can't, they can only produce. That's where I will now tilt to the, I'll tilt to the opposite side of the president. That the government is also supposed to produce an enabling environment. An enabling environment. It's also nice or interesting that the president mentioned the fact that he's not happy with the way light is, the instability of light in Nigeria. That's good. And before I go further, let me tell you, from the way this man answered questions yesterday, don't tell me that he's not aware that certain things are happening in this country. This man is fully aware. He is aware of everything. The things, the news, if he's not being told, if he doesn't see it directly, somebody is telling him that this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and that is happening. This man is aware of what the nation is like and what things, the way things are. Now, I've said that I'm going to focus my attention on, the youths. He expects that we should be creative. He expects that whatever we go to study in school, we should come back and build something out of it. And something came to mind. While I was in school, I remember that even at OND level, the project that we had was to build a generator, power generating set, which we all did. A team of about 10 of us, I think about 6 or 10 of us. But 6 or 10 of us coupled it. Amongst us was a young man who was very, very good at technical drawing. And there was another young man who was very, very good at the electrical part, even though we were in the mechanical engineering department. He was very, very good. And there was this guy who was good at the molding part of the block and everything. Bringing all these components together, and we came up with a generator. Now, this happens, I've just given you a picture from my own end. Everybody has his own picture. Some of you are made to design so many things. I'm not talking about those people who pay their way through, who want to bribe their way through, who want to pay their way through. We're talking about people who really, really did those projects. And you now find out that your projects, your booklets are just being stocked up somewhere. After some time, the place is overcrowded, they burn those ones, then they now start stocking others up. One thing came to mind yesterday when the president finished. Those of us who built that generator then, where are we today? Where is everybody? Maybe I'm just in touch with maybe just one person. I'm just in touch about maybe just one person. Every other person has gone. I believe that the expectation is that as we are coming out of school, an organization that produces generating sets was getting out of school. And as we are coming out, we should be able to set up or start something with what we were made to design. Now, I'm not being sentimental. I'm not taking any dime from anybody. I'm not, like I said to you before, I've not met the president before. You understand? I've not met him before. I'm not taking anything from anybody. So it's not like I'm taking sides. I'm just getting to think. Because seriously, if you don't do anything about this matter, nothing is going to happen. And I tell you, the federal government will not go beyond their limits. They won't throw the people who are there, who are in office out until their times have expired. Until we show the charisma of wanting to do something, they probably will not take us serious. Listen to me. If 10 of us who did that generator come together, and yes, I have my initials as Kunle K, and this guy has his own as Usman. That's my friend, the one I still get in touch with. Is you, and then there's other one. There is Bisola B. The guy is a guy, not a girl, not a lady. Then I have Kamar. Kamar starts with K, and I have what's this guy's name? Akin. I have Akin. Who is very, very good at technical drawing and all of that. And by the time we put everything together, we come up with a name that we're going to call our own generators. And we go to an institution and we say, come, please, Can you give us a loan? Can you give us a loan? We can produce this thing. We want to start producing. And this is our plan. And then you say, okay, we want 50 million, but they say, no, you've not started. And, we want to see what you can do with 10 first. Don't you think they will be interested in us? By the time we use 10 judiciously, and we are not just after riding a car or building a house, because what we do not think about is continuity. You just want to buy a car. Whichever way you go about it, you buy a car. I saw a very ugly, one very off video, which I actually produced something from, where a young girl was being, put out for rituals. Come to think of it, if the end result is buying a car, if the end result is building a house, now that you have done that, what happens? What happens? I don't think that all these Yahoo boys or whatever they are, they sit down at home. They sit down at home drinking, smoking, with the same money that whatever brought to them. But I think that the president is making us to realize that we are creative in nature. We have something in us that we are not exploring. Even though they are being harsh on us. They are being harsh on us. They are being harsh on us. I feel that there are gentle ways that we could go about this and, still get us to understand that this is what you're trying to say. But I see him from the perspective of a father who feels that you should be doing better. You should be doing better. You should be doing much better. We should be creative. Now, if 10 of us have built an organization and we use the first 10 million judiciously, next time they give us 30 million, next time we get 100 million, I'm sure we're going to get 1 billion, and before you know it, we have an organization. All the likes of Jubali Bros, Mikano, and all those organizations, they not drop from heaven. They started somewhere by humans, like yourself and myself. So I think this is an awakener for us to wake up and, get to do something, get to create something, get to start something. Go learn how to sew clothes. Go learn to make shoes. Go and do something with your life. I tell you, waiting for a white-collar job, you got it. We won't get it. You're probably, I'm not promising you. And stop being religious here. Stop being religious. It's not about religiosity. It's about you being real, being realistic. Being realistic. Come on, Kunle. I think you should wake up. I think you should start doing something with your life before it wastes away. So, saying that Nigerian youths are lazy does not mean that we do not work. It simply means that we are tailoring our energies in the wrong direction. We are lazy in the sense that we are not exploring what we have on the inside. We are not exploring what you go to school to learn. I heard of a lecturer who said to his home economics students, said, if I catch any one of you saying you are looking for a job on the street, I'm going to treat you, I'm going to deal with you. I don't know what he wants to do with it. But then he was trying to pass a message. Trying to say that, look, come, when you get out of school, you already have a job. But when you come out of school as a computer engineer, in this age, as a computer engineer, and you say you are looking for a job, what job? What other job could be more than what you already went to study in school? You study civil engineering, and people stop building houses, go start something. Set up your organization. Sometime last year, there were I think about 250,000 business names were registered for free by the CSC under the instruction of the federal government. Register a name and start something. That's why you must not see your school, going to school as just somewhere you go to get a certificate, and when you get a certificate, you go to look for a job. When you look for a job, you get married, and when you get married, you get children, and then you see them deteriorating or depreciating. And so the reason why you see engineers working in the bank today is because of misplaced priorities of person, of individuals. You are trying to say that I've gone to waste time in school. You are trying to say that, Dad, Mom, you only threw your money on the ocean. Because what it simply means, when you come back and it's as though your parents sent you to school and you still come back to them to say, give me job. And the man is telling you, I sent you to school, I paid your school fees. You should go and sort that side out. You said, no, it's still you. That's what we're doing. We should wake up. Like I said earlier on, don't see me from a sentimental angle. I'm not sentimental at all. I'm not taking sides with the president. But I think this time, I agree with him. This time, I agree with him. We should take our life serious. Be creative. If you had an opportunity to be in school, you already had a job. If you had an opportunity to go through a university, you already have a job. You had an opportunity to go through a polytechnic, you already had a job. Those of you who never, or you dropped out, you still have a job. Go learn a trade. Go learn a trade. Something to be done. There is something to be done. People will not stop using laundries. People will not stop using dresses. People will not stop sewing clothes. People will not stop using shoes and using sandals, using everything. People won't stop using soap. Go start making something. Home economics students, you are looking for a job. Looking for what job? Start a food joint. Start a food joint. Start doing something. Wọ́n ní àtẹ́lẹwọ́ ẹni ní ìtọ́ni jẹ o. Àtẹ́lẹwọ́ ẹni kì í tọ́yàn jẹ. And what that means is that it's what you do, what you know how to do with your hands that will not fail you. A job could collapse, an organization could collapse overnight. And by the time you get there in the morning, they say, sorry, we don't need your service anymore. We have to cut down. You are one of the people that are going. But you see what you know how to do? You know what? As long as you know how to do it, let them take you from where you are. Take everything you have away from you and take you into a jungle. You will start all over and you will still become who you used to be. I think that's what the president is trying to pass across to us. Now, there are different angles from which we can all look at it. You know, we can see it from different angles, but I feel that that's my angle. And I feel something tells me that that angle from which I saw it is actually correct. Some of your views also stand to be corrected. Your views could also be correct. You know, what the president meant, you know, by, you know, saying that he probably he did not have the time to say everything that he would have loved to say. But, you know, talking about the Nigerian youths, I think we've got to wake up. We've got to wake up and let's shun this idea of overnight or get rich quick scheme. Get rich quick scheme. Let's stop it. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow. You have something inside of you. Some of you cannot produce anything. I look at the business admin students, they're always very, very many. They're always very, very many. Very, very many. But what do they come out to do? What did they come out to do? I was reading about Steve Jobs. I don't know, and my attention was just drawn to him. Maybe because of the apple that's the logo of Apple. And I was looking at it. Why they cut? Why did they cut? And that cut does not look like a neat cut. And the Holy Spirit said to me, we are all eating from what somebody has beaten. He gave it to us and all of us are eating. And that's the truth. All of us are eating. The world became what it is today by somebody eating a fruit, even though some people think the fruits that Eve ate and Eve and Adam ate in the garden was apple. Nothing tells us that. It doesn't. It's not. But this is where I'm going. I was reading or thinking about. Thinking about Steve Jobs, and I know it's late. He died in 2012 and so on and so forth. And so it's now occurred to me while I read, I discovered that Steve Jobs, was not even the brain behind the design, as it were. He had a colleague, and that guy's name, it skipped my mind now. He had a colleague. He had a colleague who was actually, creating those things. And so I said, as I was reading in my mind, I was like, so what did Steve Jobs, what did he create then? What did he create? And then I noticed that he was the brain behind selling. He was the brain behind selling, and he joined force with that young man who had the idea to design like a, computer engineer who knew how to bring together these things. And he was selling. So he was the brain behind selling. He was the brain behind selling. So interestingly, we've got a lot inside of us. We've got a lot inside of us. We've got to wake up. We've got to wake up. We've got to wake up. We should create our own jobs. We should look forward to building conglomerates, looking forward to building organizations. You can do it. You can do it. If all you can do is to sell, yes, you can sell. Look for somebody who can produce and say, what you're producing, I will sell. Let's join forces together. This is going to be the percentage. Start a business. Start a business. You already have a job. What is the job? Oh, I know I have something to do. I have something to sell. That's a job. I know how to create something. That's a job. I have a service to offer. That is a job. Not until you work in the federal government service or in the state service or what have you, or that's when you have a job. No. Are there not ghost workers? Are there not people who are receiving salary who don't go to the office? Oh, come on. Well, I don't know how to round this up really, but seriously, let's take our life serious as young Nigerians. Let's take our life serious. The federal government does not have the capacity to create job for everybody. Let's not deceive ourselves. Except you are saying that we should throw out everybody in the federal civil service today and pull you in. But the truth remains, even if everybody are taken out, all the graduates that we already have hanging down now, we don't have enough space for them. Let's just be realistic. Let us just be realistic. We don't have enough space for them. We don't have enough space for them. Let's just be realistic. Create something. That's your project that you did in school. This is an eye-opener. That project that you did in school, go and start something about it. Go probably start something about that if you are not doing something yet. Think in that direction. That might just be what God wants you to do, Well, I'll leave you at this junction. I didn't intend that the video will come this far, but I think so. But like I said at the beginning, please, I'm not being sentimental. I have no ties with the president except for the fact that he's the president of my country. You understand? And he spoke yesterday, and I was very, very happy that, in fact, we were able to hear everything that he was saying. It wasn't a recorded video. We were able to hear the things that he was saying. Even though some of the things that he said, they probably did not go down well with a lot of people. Some didn't go down well with me, because I felt that one of the things that didn't go down well with me was his answer as to who succeeds him. You understand? I feel personally that the president should be concerned about who succeeds him. I mean, if you're doing a very good job, then you want somebody who is good to continue from where you stop. That is also very, very important. And also the fact that the president mentioned that if he mentions the person that he wants to succeed him, or that he is interested in to become the next president, that they might eliminate the person. Oh, that sounds somehow, you understand? Yes, not from his end really, but it really shows the level of insecurity, around. And I also think that he has looked at it, being a military person, a security personnel, he must have looked at it from the angle of that a lot of people are desperate and a lot of people want that office. A lot of people want that office, and he knows that some people will go to any length to make that happen. So I feel that, well, that's okay. That's okay. It only passes message across to us. Thank you very much for watching. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. We'll continue to bring you, matters like this. We'll talk about them. And like I would always say, please, the platform is free. Just drop your comments. Drop your comments. And like I would always say, make them simple and civil. Don't abuse anybody. We don't abuse people on this platform. We just talk matters that are serious. Thank you very much for watching, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.